Yeah. Hello. Hi, everybody. I really like looking at this game, but I've never played it, so I'm going to do my best to make comments.
Playthrough, so if you die a ton, that is why. But without any further ado, in 3, 2, 1, let us begin the run. Ugh. Okay, hold on. Let me reset the game. Trying to reset the game. Sorry. There we go. Again. So, no, I didn't even do that right. Lol. Okay, sorry about that. Hi everybody, I'm Abby. This is Illbleed as the game refuses to reset itself because you have to hit 4 buttons at once. Don't worry, this song is great.
Yeah.
But I'm not alone.
Hello. I have
hope you're
not
all ready for
personally played this
the
game,
best
but
game
I
to
like
take
it,
place
and
in a
it
theme
is
park.
for one of
But
my
with
favorite
me, I have
consoles.
JPEG.
So I am here to have a good time.
Yes, and it is only available on this console. So I'm going to try to restart the run again. 3, 2, 1, let's begin the run. So this game came out right as Sega announced that the Dreamcast is dead. So it's only sold 50,000 copies worldwide, but also is one of the few Dreamcast games to have a Chinese localization. So that is a thing, and of course we're running into the first level, which is Home Run of Death. This game is also very unforgiving and brutal. So if you want to play this game casually, be prepared to die a lot because there's a lot to memorize, as each level has 3 patterns, and they're all completely randomized, and unless you know what you're looking for, you might get hit a lot, and bleeding does a lot of damage and will be the most likely cause of your death. So, there's the first trap. Always the same. We don't know what pattern we're on until we're actually inside the inn here. And, of course, we need to get into the first hallway. And we are on A. How do I know I'm on A? Notice the 4 things above me: sight, sixth sense, smell, and hearing. If the sight is going off, that tells me that I'm on A. If the sight wasn't going off, we would then need to decide whether we were on B or C. Now, of course, we're going to get hit by this trap because it's faster. And also only increases our heart rate by 11, so that's nothing because Eriko has a lot of heart rate that she can survive. I believe it's 220. We are then going to pick up the baseball bat. Very important to pick up the baseball bat, of course, because if we don't, we have to go back for it, and all the traps we're not tagging and whatnot are still active, meaning we have a good chance of being hit with a fight encounter or something that'll do a lot of damage. We're sticking to the left wall here because of fight encounters, and they're quite annoying, as it is 2 dummies, and dummies move really fast, and they're just annoying. Of course, we're going to go in here, go to the right. I'm going to pick up this steak. If I was playing in English, it would be a steak anyway. There are a few differences. Such as in the Japanese version, it's Chinese noodles. In the English version, it is a salad. Only the food items are different.
Oh. Okay, that's all right. We're in a theme park. It's not like we needed to change the food for localization, I guess.
I don't know. It's just how it is. Whoops, I didn't tag the corpse.
I love that for them.
But also you need to make sure to tag the second door, because the second door will bite
like
you
the
if you
world.
don't tag it, causing massive amounts of damage. So
Yeah.
here we go.
It is It's a theme park that's trying to murder you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to sign a waiver. Yes, because
I thought it was toilet paper.
there's $100 million prize at the end of it. Grab Jimmy's trophy, and then we're going to fall through the wall in order to not have to deal with a fight encounter. Grab this gauze just
Aw.
in case. See, it's still gauze in both. I don't know why I'm doing that. By the way, we can't do a cool skip because we're on A. If we were on B or C, we could do a cool skip.
So
But
is A the
unfortunately, no cool
preferred
skip.
pattern, or
I mean, I could
do
have
you
done
like
it, but I would have been sent back
Yeah.
into the room and hit by a like pillars, and it
Oh,
would have
cool.
been no good. There we go. No, C is the best pattern for this level, because it has the best of both worlds of A and B. But A is the worst pattern of the three. And then we're going to take a wide turn here to avoid a fight. And then we're going to stick to the right
This
wall
is
because
rude.
all the
It's
traps
so
are on the
good.
left wall. But after the second broken light here, we're going to
I love the word art.
tag. That's not what I wanted to
The
tag.
narrow escape
That's
word
what I
art.
wanted to tag because that's going to be a fight encounter. And there we go. And then we just need to call for the helipad. Be careful. He's going to try to hit you. Yes, he's very, very rude. And we have now survived all the traps. And then we're just running down. And of course, we're about to meet the boss of the level, who is Mr. Banbelow. Each level has a description about like what's going on, what the scenario is, and basically some teenagers were staying at the inn and caused a fire, and Banbelow lost his son Jimmy, who was like a baseball prodigy, and so he kind of wanted revenge against the teenagers, and so he's got a homemade flamethrower there, and yeah. So right now he has infinite health, so we just need to escape. Double back there so that you can avoid the fire, and so he can get enough off the helipad so you can call it behind him. And now we're going into his maze. The game really likes you to take lefts, so every time we can take one, we're immediately going to do so. We're also going to play an extreme game of chicken. We have
Yeah.
successfully played an extreme game of chicken because he was coming out of the second hallway there. And of course, we're about to do our nothing but lefts whenever we can. There he is again. Again, sometimes he can perform an L, which will make us get caught. And if we get caught, we have to run away from him and escape again. So here we go. And dodge. And we are about halfway through the maze. That's the last time we'll see him in this half. And then we're going to get to the bathrooms, where we're going to see our friend Kevin, who Banbelow thinks is, you know, Jimmy, but it's not Jimmy, it's Kevin. Fun fact, most of the voice actors for this game are like Sonic voice actors. For example, Erico was the voice actress for Rouge. Kevin was Sonic. Somebody was Vector. Yeah, there's just a lot of Sonic voice actors here. You may have noticed the Sega Corporation logo at the beginning. I don't know if... Oh, crap, he did a V. I know exactly what he did there. So here we go. We have to
Yeah,
escape him.
I
So
feel
we're gonna
like
do this
this has to be
and
at
call
least
it
like
down.
the first real choke point for
Double
casual
dodge
players.
backwards, or at least attempt
Because
to double dodge backwards. Luckily,
you
we're
just
almost at the
can't
end of the maze,
tell.
and I don't believe I'm bleeding at this point, though I am a little lost as to where I am. Okay, I hear you. Yes,
Mhm.
as I get caught again. It's yeah, it's not even a choke point for regular players. Usually whenever we get caught, most players will reset because they're like, I don't know where I am at this point. Like, I'm just taking the
He
damage
just wants
because
to
I
spread
have
warmth
heals,
and
so
love
it
with
doesn't
his
really matter.
flamethrower.
That's so true.
But it's like I don't quite
Yeah,
know
did we
where I
ever think
am,
about
so I'm
just
like,
hearing him out?
Where am I exactly? Luckily, I could just open the map and be like, oh, I need to go this way and in here. And then he'll be right there. And I get caught a third time. This is going great. Oh, yeah, just the nicest thing ever. I mean, the hearing him out part is that he wants to set us on fire. There we go. Now I'm going the right way. And then again, he's really trying to catch me right here, and it's really, really bad. But that's okay.
It's not important.
Because we're now at the
Gas
end of the
can.
maze, and now we can beat him up with our baseball bat. So now that we're in the boss fight, we can stick to the left, or stick to the side with the gas can. I don't know if that's left or right, to be honest, because, again, reverse cameras, etc. But either way, yeah, gas can. Again, sometimes he'll move around, and that's just like, oh, joyous of occasions. But we're not doing too bad here. Again, you just hit him as much as you can. Again, he wants to really move during the boss fight. Again, complete RNG how his movement is. Sometimes you can get a counter hit, which you will need to readjust your position. We have saved Kevin. Fun fact, if Kevin was dead, you wouldn't get that cutscene. You would just run past him. I picked up an Amazon there, which is a full heal. It'll heal everything.
Near Automata, eat your heart out.
So, right now,
changing
we're in
game
giant
formats.
ban below phase. Oh, good, he's doing the right movement that I want, which is that slam that he
It
just
goes through a
did.
bunch of different formats at the beginning. There's
Swipes
like
are
a
bad.
shooter section and everything.
Very bad.
So
Also, the game has
yeah,
now
this is
become a
basically the
platformer
same.
all of a sudden. That's just a thing. I've never played Nier. I mean, okay, I'll take your word for it. You can take about 3 swipes before you're dead. We're actually not doing too bad. Just gonna let him do that. We're almost at the end of the chase sequence. We are now at the end of the chase sequence, and everything is fine and dandy. All right, and we're going 1, 2, 3.
Ugh.
And we have killed the employee, stolen his ID card so that we can finish the level. And of course, now that giant Bambalo is not moving, we can once again go into the menu and open it up. Fun fact, when you're in a fight encounter, you cannot heal or anything. It's just a giant pause that's going to happen. There we go. So you
They
have
think
to wait
they're-
till you're not in
They
combat
think they're
to heal.
clever, making you
And
like
instead of going
think
back
that
the
you
way
can
we
escape.
came, and you can
So
go to the
cute.
exit while Ban Below
It's
is
almost
still
like this
alive,
game
by
is
the way,
supposed
but
to be
because you
torture.
don't have the card, you can't do anything, so you would have to completely turn around, and it's just like, oh, okay then. That's just a thing.
It's a lot of work.
Indeed. And of course, indeed. Fun fact, and this is
So
spoilers
all of
for
the rest
true
of
ending,
this
because true
is like a
ending
front?
has some
Really?
things that make it very marathon unfriendly. It's Eriko's father who built this theme park for the sole purpose of scaring Eriko.
Okay.
Yep. Because in order to get true ending unlocked, you have to beat good ending, and at the end of good ending, Eriko says, I'm going back. Please don't
Wise.
follow me. And it's like, oh, all right then. And then for marathon safety here, I'm going to buy some supplies because marathon safety. 2, 3. There we go. And of course, we're now going to play as Kevin because about almost a year ago, we discovered that Kevin is faster in some parts. Although it was discovered a little earlier than that, but no one really like did it because we were kind of like, it's only 10 seconds. But then we found out a bunch of other stuff almost about a year ago, and it turns out that Kevin has better dodges and etc. So we use that to our advantage. So it's Erico, Kevin, Erico, Kevin,
He just
Kevin, Kevin.
he just rolls around
in
for a
terms
while.
of who you want to play as. However, Kevin has a very big downside, and that's
no.
the fact that if he gets caught, he'll squirm around. So you may have noticed when I got caught by Bambalo, Erico just got right up like it was nothing. Yeah, Kevin doesn't do that. Kevin's like, I gotta squirm. Yep. And of course, this level doesn't have patterns because there's no traps, but there are fight encounters everywhere. It's kind of the gimmick. So this is the shortest level because of that. Now, of course, we're sticking to the left side to avoid evil monkeys who also stole our horror monitor. And yes, you do need to pick up the horror monitor in order to actually get the game going or the level going.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So yeah, and then we have these evil worms and whatnot, because the story of this level is that it used to be like a worm farm or something,
Thank
and then
you
it got turned into a drive-in movie
for
theater.
playing this game. That
and,
is a word salad of a
no,
plot.
Worms
That's
got
not even the most
very
wild
angry
thing about
and
this
just like,
game.
nah, I'm just gonna blow this up. So our
I
goal
love
is
it.
to murder the Worm Queen and reunite her with her
So
grandfather
I have
and
a
send them to
question.
hell.
If you have
To put it in the
an answer, what is required? Because we're doing good ending, right? What is the requirements for the good ending?
So right now, Kevin's doing the squirm.
That simple?
That wasn't intentional that I got caught. That's just how it happened. So he just loses all his time saved because of this. Yes. Yes. We have to save all our friends. So the story plot of the beginning is that Eriko had a speech about the horror club, and she's the student body president. And after the speech, she meets up with her friends, Kevin, Randy, and Michelle. Michelle has somehow won tickets to Illbleed, 4 of them. And Kevin and Randy
clearly
and
finds
Michelle
Kevin
decide
first.
to go. Eriko's like, nah, something seems fishy about this. And then it's been 3 days. So no one's heard from Randy, Michelle, and Kevin for 3 days. So Eriko goes in to look for them. And yes, and Michelle is actually in this level.
They also have to
and then it's
survive.
Randy, who we don't need to save him with a brain. His brain is not required to save him. And then there's a 4th character who is not their friend and doesn't show up in the ending.
Too bad of a price.
You can just buy them back to
life.
So yes, everybody has to survive. However, we don't save Georg, we buy him back because it takes too long.
Honestly, a bargain.
So, yeah, because you can totally buy your friends back. Yep, but they cost like $375,000 to bring back. However, we can only afford one of them though, doing the route that we do. So we save Randy and Michelle because they're both on the way. By the way, stick to the right side, otherwise you have to deal with zombies with guns. And then we're continuing on here. Be careful because there is another zombie with guns location. That's why we stick on the road there. And then be very, very careful about grabbing the wrench here because there is a permanent health upgrade right next to it. And permanent health upgrades don't go.
That may be why it's not marathon friendly. Just a little bit.
No, the reason it's not marathon friendly is something completely different. So
Darn. I feel like I've only
yeah,
seen good ending.
if you
in
know,
this,
you
so-
know. If you
I
don't,
I ended up going back and
yeah,
watching
I would
True
say go
Ending at
watch
some point, and
a true
yeah,
ending run, and
yep.
you'll understand.
It's a thing that
Yeah.
happens.
Yep.
Yep. I currently hold 3 world records in this game. The other world record holder is Punchy. Not a lot of people run this game. Only 4 people that have ran it in 2023. That is myself, Punchy, Umbrella Jill, and Igdisis. And I believe there's 7 runners in total, but 3 of them aren't currently active. So there we go. We're in the boss fight with Rachel, the Worm Queen. So yes, we have to barbecue the giant worm to defeat her and get access to the gas
Same.
can for the car. But because we're also saving Michelle, there is a fight after this with 3 evil monkeys.
I love everything.
So
you're
again,
saying.
we're just and there we go. And burn the worm. Now you see her squirming there. That is a counter hit, which means she is taking more damage than if she just were to be set on fire. Counter hits are good. Also, sometimes that happens where large amounts of health just drop from her when she goes under. I don't know why it happens, it just does. I need to get in close because I'm not getting a lot of damage here, but I'm also trying to not get hit at the same time. So it's just like, oh dear.
You ever just struggle to
Anytime
burn
you
a
wanna-
worm? Normal experience.
Apparently. And there we go. One more pop-up shoot. Yep.
Welcome to hell,
And
Rachel.
dead.
Good night, Rachel. Hope you had fun.
And then we pick up the gas can, and then we don't run straight to the car because the car will end the level. We need to run down this road and
The evil
go
monkeys.
into the thing that says go.
Just thinking about this,
And burn the and burn the monkeys.
you know, when you have a flamethrower, everything feels flammable, so
Indeed. And now we have saved Michelle, and she is now a playable character as well. By the way, all the friends that we save can become playable characters. But again, we only stick with Eriko and Kevin. Female characters have better melee attacks. And of course, Eriko just gets up if she gets into a fight encounter. And Kevin and Jorg and Randy, provided he has his brain, have better dodges and whatnot. So now we need to actually pick up supplies because we're going into a level that needs them. So we're going to buy 3 of those, 1 of those, and 3 of these. Again, if you're starting to play this game casually, I recommend picking up 9 of each of those things, as well as maybe an adrenaline needle or 2, because it'll greatly help
This
you.
one.
Lower your supplies the more familiar you become with the game, as we head into Wood Puppets, which is level 3.
I have seen this. I remember this. I mean,
So, by the way, all pickable items are always in the same spot. Those are the only thing that don't get RNG. The pattern we are hoping for is pattern B. Pattern C is the second best, and A is the worst. How fitting that level 1 and 3, as I accidentally get hit here, are the worst patterns of the level. That did a lot of damage.
Gotta say, I really love the blood spray in this game. Looks really cool.
To heal the bleeding HP and whatnot, not so much needed. Oh, crap, we're gonna be... Oh, wait, no, wait, this is gonna be C. Oh, I was like, ah, crap, we're gonna be on A. Oh, no, and then it's C. I will take C. So next we need to tag the painting, even though it's gonna be... It's funny, we
Beautiful.
tag the painting, but it's the chainsaw
Beautiful.
that
They
comes out
deserve
and
it.
hits you.
Mm-hmm.
So the story of this level is there's a tree with a mustache killing lumberjacks. Yeah. So after the tree kills that guy, we take his axe. Go. Oh, crap. Uh-oh. Ow.
Pretty sure.
We might be in
Oh.
trouble. Because I'm bleeding a little too much for the start. And then... Again,
Because one
you want
chainsaw
to
wasn't
tag as
enough.
much as possible. Really? Alright.
Yes. I
Oh,
said yes. Really.
oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What about
Oof.
more chainsaw?
Okay.
Dude, more chainsaw is always great.
Yes. But I now have no bleeding heals, and oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna try. We're gonna try.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance
I don't know where you could
we're
have
gonna
gotten
die.
such relatable
Which is
words
bad.
One could say
for
Very.
the run. Yeah.
Actually, wait, no. Okay, we're good. We're good. I forgot this was
Yay.
here. So we're going. So we're going to heal here.
$119,000. You are
No,
rich.
not build up. Heal. Thank you.
For a high school girl, I mean.
We're going to.
I don't even know that you have to add that caveat.
Yeah, you
sometimes.
don't actually thinking about it. I'll take the
Yes.
119K in my bank account right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I might deal with the worms for
Okay, let's hope-
119,000.
I kind of forgot about the emergency room being there because I was like, oh god, I gotta use the thing, and I might have been able to make it all the way there without spending any of my things, and I was just kind of like, oh no. Okay, so this is why we needed the supplies, because now we have to fight regular enemies. And the thing about regular enemies is the fact that they need to be hit by counter hit to die. They take damage from regular hits, but in order for them to die, they must be hit with a counter hit. And we're going to tag. Very good. Huzzah. And then we're going to run. Now we have to take a wide turn here, because only B doesn't need this wide turn. And the reason we need a wide turn is because the first trap in this section is going to be the first grate. We, of course, don't need to worry about the other traps because they're all on the right side, but by sticking to the left wall, we're good. Now, we need to tag right here because...
All right, guys. Sorry about that. We have fixed the technical difficulties, and we will be hopping right back into Illbleed.
Woo! We.
Yep. All right. Now that the technical difficulties have been solved, we have wood puppets that we have to dodge.
I love-
They're very fast,
I
and
love that we came back from technical difficulties to just a couple mannequins T-posing menacingly. Like,
they're very made
Ah,
of wood, and they're very
beautiful.
much trying to T-pose me to death.
Cinematic
They're not
masterpiece
very
of a game.
nice. There we go. We escaped.
Amazing.
Indeed. And now we are going to do 1564 or Hitogoroshi, which is a play on murder in Japanese. In the North American release, it is to spell
And now we
wood, which
just
is
are a
obviously
mannequin.
9663. I'm on C, so we need the middle light. If it was B, it'd be the last light. If it was A, it would be the first light. We have successfully. Yes, we are a wood puppet. And we're just shuffling along. And good, I'm not bleeding. That makes me happy. I'm gonna need that tagged. And I'm gonna need... Oh, I'm not gonna need that tagged, but I am gonna need that tagged. Uh-oh, I'm running out of adrenaline. Oh no. Not running out of adrenaline. Anything but that. Is that gonna let me tag? Oh, I would have been... Oh, no. I did need to tag here, because I was just right on the cusp. Okay, so we avoided the fireball. This is good. Fireball bad. And then finally, the final trap. Manipulate enemy position by opening up the map. So that is what we are going to do. Going to walk forward. And the maze begins. And again, just shuffling along. Everything's fine. No problems.
This
Yeah,
is
last
a
time I went to a
perfectly
theme
normal
park, I got
thing to
turned
have
into a
happen in a
tin
theme
man,
park.
so it tracks.
Yep. Get turned into a wood puppet. Oh no. I don't remember the last... Actually, when was the
Looks
last
like you went to the
time?
wrong
I think
theme
I was
park.
13.
I wanna go to
Was it
this
like this
one.
I
one?
went to a theme park. No.
Yeah. Yeah, amateurs.
So again, opening up the map to keep him as still as possible in order to pass him. And we need him to follow us, so now we're going to play a game of chicken. Anytime he appears on screen, we're pausing the map again. Sometimes they're really aggressive, sometimes they aren't. And by keeping one following us, it doesn't allow the others to spawn in. There he is. As we turn. No,
The
do
music
not touch.
This is
really
the music
makes
of my
this.
nightmares.
And again. There we go.
That's not wrong.
Are you sure about that? And then we're going to go to the left. He has been really aggressive, which may mean that they won't be so aggressive on the other side. Touch me. Thank you. And of course, they stop chasing us once we get close to this tree. It is unknown why they stop chasing us when we get close to this tree, and it might have something to do with the fact that a cutscene's about to trigger. Because a cutscene is about to trigger, with Randy just being about. Alright, here we go. Picking up the Woodall.
We're made out of wood,
And then
though.
we're gonna
Wouldn't
have the
pick up
Woodall
picking up the
tree
things
that
that
we
ate
passed,
the tree?
so that we can
Okay.
continue on
You know what? I'm not going to question it.
Exactly.
They just say you have human vibes and
Maybe
not gonna
they
deal with
secretly
it.
know that we're human. I mean, to
Yeah,
be fair, we do
Wood's not
bleed.
supposed to do that the last I checked.
Indeed. Now you can fall off this platform, and obviously you can see lumberjacks running below me, and then you have to redo the whole section all over again. And again, be careful. Otherwise, you know, falling off, very bad idea. As we're just walking here. Also, these photo booths are save spots, which is pretty good. As
Adorable.
we keep running. Indeed. Because, you know, photo booths were still a thing in the early 2000s.
I would argue if you've been to any like boba tea shop in the past decade, they're still very much a thing.
But I've been to a boba tea shop and not seen them, so
heck?
question mark?
Okay, maybe
Sometimes
it's the ones
that guy
by
can
me.
knock himself off. Maybe. Can't tell if he knocked himself off the edge. He might have knocked himself off the edge because we haven't seen him in a while, but we have to go save Randy anyways,
Does
so he would
Randy
leave us
know
alone
that
the
it's
second we
a
turn
person
to go
helping
save
him turned
Randy.
into a doll,
Randy's
or
just
is he
over
just
here.
like, oh, this mannequin's nice? Oh, you know,
What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
You mentioned Randy and the no brain thing before,
He has no
and
brain.
the fact that Randy had no brain left my brain immediately upon receiving that information.
So we have defeated. Everything's good. We go pick up Randy, and it will call him Brainless Randy, by the way.
Someone's high school nickname.
So we'll heal. And... and then we keep running. We're almost done with the maze. But then we have the gauntlet. The reason we don't want A is because in the gauntlet we have to fight 3 of them, whereas in E and C we only have to fight 2 of them. Be careful here, because... don't know where he... oh, there he is. I have to pause a lot here to make sure that he doesn't block our path at all. Because obviously the closer they are to our hitbox, the more likely they are to catch us. There we go. There we go. No, sir. And we've made it through the maze, and now it's time for said gauntlet. So sticking to the left side, there's fight number 1. I don't know why they sound like elephants, by the way, so that is something I cannot answer. That's just how they sound.
What do they call this?
I think
I
out
was
of
trying to say like
everything going
Woodman
on in
because
this
I think
game,
I saw
that's
a sign
probably
earlier
the
that
least
said
of my
Woodman hunting.
concern.
That's just how lumberjack. Yeah.
I'll accept the elephant noises.
I guess?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Also, another thing is when you kill enemies, you get adrenaline back. Also, we just passed the final trap of the level as well. And we dominate with T-poses, of course. T-pose domination.
Honestly, if you get to do this, I don't know why more people aren't running this game. Like, what a feel-good moment for the family.
Again, actually, that wasn't too bad of a gauntlet. I was expecting to take a lot more damage. Also, you may notice the blue chip on screen. When when the blood passes the blue chip, your hitbox becomes bigger. Very dangerous. And now we are going to go into what I like to call the Wood Puppet Iron Maiden to become human once again. We are now once
I'm
again
sure
human.
we'll have to speak to our
and I'm just
therapist
gonna
about
heal
that
up here.
later, but it's fine.
Oh, apparently I'm not. There we go.
My
And now we
headcanon
go
is that
fight the
it's the
giant tree
same
with a
tree from
mustache.
Mario Party.
Did I
Woody,
mention
he's
You
this
just really
did?
the
upset.
boss is a giant
And I'm
tree with a
so
mustache?
thrilled.
One, two, three. So every time he swipes, it's 3 hits. Every time he pukes, it's 2 hits. Two, three. 1, 2, 3. And for some reason, he has green blood. 1, 2.
No,
Well,
it's
yeah,
called
he's a tree.
Illbleed.
He's wood. He
1,
can't
2.
bleed. With it's not like we just saw something made of wood bleed earlier. That would be silly.
And now, of course, this is how they punish you, because if you were bleeding, as I like to call it, which is as you move, your bleed
Cruel of
meter
them.
increases. As you can see, it's quite the long distance. So, when I say this game is brutal, just because you've beaten the boss doesn't necessarily mean that the level is over. Indeed. And there we go. And then we are going to the worst level in the game because it has the hardest fight in the game. So we'll be bringing in lots of extra
Fun.
supplies for that reason. There we go. Now the gimmick of this level is that we need 200,000 in order to complete it, but it pays us 150 up front. As you saw, even with my massive supply buying, we still had 217,000 left over. So we're pretty good, because we'll have over 300,000. But the gimmick of this level is the fact that every time we get hit by a trap, it'll take money from us. Because we're in a killer department store, of course. So we're going to grab the horror monitor, grab the caution bomb. Caution
makes
bombs
sense
function as
that this is
a
here, like-
multi-tag for free. We are not on B, because if we were on B, that shopping cart would have been active. Now, how do we figure out if we're on C or B? Or C or A, sorry. It depends what color candy is going to try to hit me. If it's blue, we're on C. If it's yellow, we're on A.
Capitalism
It
is
was
the
blue,
scariest
so
of
we're
them
on
all.
C.
It's true. Why isn't this
then tag,
chapter just
tag,
called
and
Black
tag.
Friday?
There we go.
They missed a prime opportunity here.
You know, you're not wrong. Because you see, the owner of the department store put on a massive sale to also kill people.
It's true.
Is the reason for
like
the season.
cans with teeth.
Because he kills people so that he can keep the money. So the gimmick with the can is whatever color it is on one side, it's the opposite color on the other. So whereas it was the green can, it's going to be the coffee can on the other. Yay, I got it to trigger before I had to go upstairs. Of course, B doesn't have the hair trap here because the shopping cart is active. So we're going to tag the hair trap and then grab our weapon of choice, which is a hat. The English version calls it a hatchet, but it looks more like a cleaver to me. So I don't know why they called it that. And then here's our good friend, Mr. Hellcake. That's why we picked up the severed head, because we need it in order to continue. And we could take Hellcake with us. but all he does is heal our health. And then we're gonna keep going. And then we're gonna grab 3 pieces of meat. There's a very important reason why. 1, 2, 3. And then we need to tag the right side. If it was B, it would be the entire back row, and if it was A, it'd be the left row. And then we need to tag the cow skull. Apparently I wasn't close enough to tag said cow skull. And then we have our lovely friends, the giant cockroaches. It is a 7% chance to make them both disappear from eating one meat.
Oh.
Obviously, we didn't get it as I get hit by this cockroach. And then, will this one disappear from me
Rude.
feeding it meat? No. Indeed. Now you may be asking, why the 3rd piece of meat? You only use 2. And that is because in order to continue past the steakhouse, you must fight a meat to the death. If you do not have a piece of meat on you, you cannot continue
okay.
until you do.
Makes sense, I think.
Do not fall back towards the chef, because if you fall back towards the chef, you have to go out and get meat all over again. It's not a fun time. It's fine. And then we have this little area here. There are worms here, so we're going to avoid the fight. We are then going to tag the onion. We are going to ignore the first pile of goo, because we're on C. If it was A, it'd be the first pile of goo, B is the second pile of goo, and of course, C is the final pile of goo. Who would have thought
I didn't know that.
goos would go in order? And of course, this pineapple will come and attack you. Or as we say en
Thank
français,
you for that French
le
lesson.
ananas.
In the middle. Yeah.
You are quite welcome. And then we, of course, tag the pile of goo. And now comes the worst fight in the game, as I mentioned.
Alright, so what makes it the worst?
God, this.
Oh, you're about to see as I tag it, because it's an unskippable cutscene. The reason it is the worst is because you're not only fighting one regular enemy. You're not fighting 2 regular enemies. You are fighting 3. And
That's
remember, regular enemies require
worst,
counter
yeah.
hits to die.
That's actually terrible.
And they also like to back each other up. Indeed. And also, Eriko's dodges suck. Like, you could dodge and they'll still hit you. So as you can see, they're backing each other up, and it's like, can you not? And again, you need to counter hit them. If you don't counter hit them, they don't die. Luckily, the fight does get
Yeah, you just
easier
kinda have to
the
pick
more
them
that
off.
die. Yes. But you also want to kind of keep them close, corpse-wise, due to a very specific reason. Ow. See what I mean? I
Rude.
dodged there, and there's like no iframes or anything. They still just kill me. Alright, we got 2. 1 more remains. Ow. Ow. Unfortunately, when
survived
they
the
do
worm.
that attack, where they're just moving above ground, it doesn't count as a counter hit as far as I'm aware. But we did it. We killed them and we lived.
Again,
So it's all
the
good.
spiked worms.
Indeed. And then we...
That's an elevator?
Go into this very creepy-ass looking elevator.
Okay.
Because it is Yes, that's an elevator. And now we can enter Kids World, or as I keep calling it, Toy World, because, you know, there's toys, obviously. There we go. Sometimes it's better to just double tag, because it can be faster than trying to singular tag. So here we go. And again, they will still take money from you. So that is still a thing, but we've already entered, so it doesn't matter. There are a couple of safes in the level that'll give you 100,000 if
And
need
some big
be.
hats.
But again, we already had enough before we entered, so we were good. And because we're on C, it's the first green plane here instead of the second green plane. Yes, big magical top hats. Also, some
Mega
Godzilla
dreams. I'm
merchandise,
down.
but of course, parody
mean-
Godzilla. And also, for some reason, parody
I'd buy it.
Dreamcast. It's a game on the Dreamcast, but parody Dreamcast. Yeah, and they will bite you, by the way, if you get caught by them. And then we
Ooh.
have the baseball. And then we have a spoiler for the final level, Mr. Cork, over here, as well as Pododon. And then we're going to go see Mary. Mary is no fun. Crap, I grabbed a upgradable item. That's not what I wanted. I thought there was a Mary doll there, but apparently not. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, now we're in Mary's Maze. The longer we stay in here, the more damage we take. The game is slowly hitting us with damage, so we do need to be quick. There are 4 keys hiding in the maze, and we need to grab them all. Here's key number 1. And we're to... This can potentially despawn Mary.
You
which
were
ever
not
so
kidding.
nice
This
if it
game
didn't
loves
work.
mazes.
It's fine. Again, if we get caught... Yes. Yes, it does. And of course, if we get caught by Mary, we have to fight her. There is no escaping. There is no infinite health like we have with the other bosses. I consider her the boss of this level. She is not the boss, but you'll see why I consider her the boss of the level. Head down into the pink. Very important to go down into the pink before going down into the green. We now have 3 keys. And we're going to turn. And of course, anytime I'm turning, I'm using the map pause to turn the camera because shenanigans, and also Mary is very, very fast and very, very scary because she does a lot of damage. And yeah. But luckily, for some reason, she seems to despawn at this point. So we're pretty good. Yeah, she just seems to despawn at this point, which is kind of nice of the game, because then we don't have to worry about the scary doll trying to kill us.
I mean, I would
To
have
put it as
guessed that
bluntly
that's
as
what was trying
possible.
to happen here, is that there's a horrible doll that's waiting
Yeah.
for our demise. Yeah. That
To kill
tracks,
us?
looking at everything on the walls saying, you know, Bloody Mary.
Indeed. There we go. And now we have to play hide and seek before fighting her to the death. We actually fight her to the death because she gets mad because we found her. If it was A, it would be the keyboard, B is the fridge, and C
No,
is the pair
I
of
know,
glasses.
and yet there's nothing that can be
I don't know what happens
pre-warned
if you pick the wrong
about
option.
how silly this game is. Like,
What?
even if you say
What is-
exactly what's about
I
to
told
happen,
you what it was.
you're not quite prepared for how funny it's going to be.
Okay, we got pretty lucky with some of the dodging of the knife strikes. Again, she goes very fast and hits you. Yeah, so we won without a problem. Also, Amazon does exist right here. So if you ever ran out of healing
Truly in the
items,
nightmare scenario.
you can use that instead. And then we use Mary's key, and now it's time for a little segment I like to call Mario
Oh,
Party
man,
Repressed
yes.
Memories.
It's tabby jump.
I'm
rope.
sorry to anyone who's played Mario Party 1 or 2, and maybe 3 it has this. But yeah, get ready for some jump rope.
Yeah, you know,
Holy.
I don't know if anybody remembers.
And that's what
getting
happens
hit
if
in
you
the ankle
fail.
with a jump rope or,
Lots of bleeding. I know some
maybe
people have been
HMS, so, like,
commenting on the
skip
bleeding.
it,
That's the
but
most
it
blood that
certainly
you see from
feels like
something.
that should be the amount of blood that leaves your body, because that hurts. Oof.
I'm too early. So you get to see it twice. Fun fact in the dialogue for this, she says,
Yeah, it doesn't seem
the
like the
poison thorn will
is
kill
an
you.
issue when it's more the fact that
No,
you
as you can see,
explode
it's
blood
barely
every time
doing
you
any
get hit.
damage to me, and we're kind of okay for the most part. There we go. Third time was the charm, though to be fair, I kind of wanted to show it off with the first time. But shh, we'll just go with third time. There we are. Yep, it's another elevator. And now we meet the boss of the level, and again, you will find out why. I don't consider Mr. Cashman the boss. So we're just jumping up here. Yep, he has infinite health. And there's the giant pause screen that I mentioned. That's only when you're in fight encounters. So again, you cannot heal while you're in a fight encounter. As we go down, and there's Mr. Cashman. And this is why I don't consider him the boss. You control him and make him jump repeatedly into a
Okay,
safe.
I forgot
it
we were
takes 4
still in the
hits.
department store. So much has happened.
Yeah. And that's the end of Killer Department Store.
Yeah. That took us places. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now comes the easiest level of the game, Killer Man. So, we're just gonna do that. We're also saying goodbye
Bye,
to
Erico.
Erico for the rest of the game.
Nice knowing
as
you.
we are switching to Kevin.
Yeah.
Indeed. Erico gets to live.
It kind of slaps.
And also, this song will get stuck into your head, by the way.
Sonic is like, let's go!
Why did they fill this game with bangers?
It's a very slappable song.
That's fair.
Because why not? So this level is a giant... Yeah, so this level is a very just walking sim. Like, you could play this as, Brainless Randy and probably be fine. Brainless Randy can't tag traps, because he doesn't have any adrenaline.
Doesn't
So
adrenaline
that's
not come
his
from your
downside.
brain? So...
Another thing about these passcodes is if you know the number, you can just put it in. You don't have to find them first. The passcodes are all of the corpse's employee numbers. So, yeah. Like I said, this is a very big walking simulator, the level. The story is there's something killing employees in the back, because there's a Killer Man doll missing. and each Killer Man doll or suit costs $20 million. So Jason here is very worried about that. Cunningham does not care. And there's Jorg. He's a journalist. He's doing a piece on Illbleed. Everybody thinks that we're a part-time employee, by the way, despite the fact that we're wearing very civilian casual clothes. So it doesn't really
Illbleed,
make any
baby.
sense, but hey, Illbleed. So the pattern we're hoping for here is B. A is the second best, finally A getting some redemption. Or no, we're hoping for C, sorry, but we're on A. Tag and tag. There we go. Tag the doors. Stay away from that corner because it's another Mary fight. Mary is very mean. So yeah. And then we're just gonna walk away from the buzzsaws. This level features traps and things from all the other levels. As I get hit by this buzzsaw, unfortunately. So we'll see like items from level 4, items from level 3, like all the levels are gonna be featured here. And whatnot. We want to stick to the right to avoid an egg fight. Because of course evil eggs exist. I think it's one of those two, right? It's not the third one? Oh, it is the third one. Fantastic. There we go. Make sure to tag right in front of the coffee can because it's an unavoidable Mary fight. And make sure to go at this angle so that way we're right at the helipad. If we didn't tag, we would die because the arena is so small. Also, I'm gonna get hit by a trap here because it's impossible to tag, apparently, so I'm just like... It's only increasing my heart rate, I don't care enough.
What even is this area supposed to be? Because Mary's
yes.
here, there was the coffee can. Oh.
We're
it's
behind the
magic.
scenes of Illbleed.
Understood. Okay.
This is like their storage area type of deal. Yeah. So, yeah. That's what this area is. There we go. We're through the hardest part of the level. Grab the shotgun. Grab the employee identification card, which we will only use on this door and then on nothing else. Fun fact. And then we're climbing up. And then here's a fun swag Kevin move that I like to do. Just jump up the stairs. Erico can't do that. And then we're running all the way back to the horror monitor room because we have to go talk to York.
I mean, I do like that they
Isn't
do this
that fun?
and like everything
the Sixth
that you've
Sense
done
going
so
off
far
there is
back
because we can grab
before,
the axe from the lumberjack.
I know
We're
something
not going
coming
to
up
do
is
that. There's
somehow
no reason
still
to.
more off the rails than what we've been doing. So this is like a nice little review of where we've been, and it's almost nostalgic. You could call it that.
Sure. Yes. And so we're just running as fast as we can. All the way back down into the next area. The next code, we're going to see another corpse, you see. And the next code is 0824. And then we go into the morgue, but the game is going to ask us a very important question, but I won't spoil that question for anyone.
We're just leaving everyone in suspense.
There we go. Yep. I mean, it won't be
That's
too
fair.
much longer before the game asks us the very important question. Whoops. So, again, 0824. And then we have more traps. Again, it's going to be the last one there. Again, sometimes it's just faster and easier to tag multiple traps. Stick next to the machine, because the stairs is the trap. The stairs will set you on fire. Nobody wants to be set on fire by stairs! Going to just casually walk. There's actually a reference to Blue Stinger in this level. But we're not going to see it because it's a trap. And then because we're on A, we need the last one here. Whoops. Tag it, apparently. There we go. The trap here is that a bunch of cockroaches come out of the pillar.
I know, I was just going to say, I guess,
then-
yeah, just a couple cockroaches.
Oh, go on.
Never mind. That's a few more than I thought.
Oh, it's not just a couple cockroaches. It's gotta be over 1,000. Indeed. Yeah. I've not counted, but it probably is something like that. And then because we're on A, we need the last set of servers here, or whatever these are. They look like servers to me. If it was B, it'd be the first, or the second, and if it was C, it'd be the third. And Killer Man continues to kill people.
We're just
He's
leaving
in my
York
heart.
is technically with us, by the way, right now. Even though we only see Kevin moving.
Well,
No, he just only shows up
Ah.
in cutscenes. He's technically, like, right beside us, I guess. We don't like York, by the way. York is a jerk, and we like to see him die, but for the purposes of this, we will buy him back. Fun fact, he actually has better dodges than Kevin because they cost less. It only costs him 3 heart rate to dodge, whereas Kevin is 4 heart rate. So Jason has been shot. He still lived. Right now, the plot is that everybody thinks Cunningham is killing people, and not Jason. Although they kind of thought it was Jason until Jason just got shot there. Again, we're kind of solving a murder mystery in this level right now. So that is also a thing.
I was going to say, I love the thought that you
And-
started by saying, like,
Oh,
you
go
could
ahead.
probably do this as Brainless Randy, and now you're saying that it's a murder mystery. So I really like that. That's a combo, I guess. I guess that could happen.
All right, now here's the important question, chat. And also panel who haven't seen this. The game asks us who is Killer Man. So we have Jorg, Cunningham,
Yeah?
us, Jason,
Is that the
Killer
acceptable
Man.
answer?
The answer is Killer Man, but I'm gonna pick the player. We are Killer Man. Yes. Yeah.
I'm so glad that we figured out that Killer
No,
Man
the
is
acceptable
Killer Man.
answer is Killer Man, but because we're not saving Jorg, it doesn't matter. You have to save Jorg in the level for it to matter. Yes. Indeed. So there's only one trap in the Morgan because we're playing the Japanese version. You'll notice that there's no music. In the North American version, there's music. For whatever reason, this game never came out in Europe. It's a little weird because Europe was still getting games until I think 2003. As a matter of fact, Europe got Shenmue 2 on the Dreamcast, whereas
They
North
just didn't
America
feel
got it
like
on the
sending
original
this to
Xbox.
Europe.
So it's
I don't know,
really,
maybe they thought Europe had had
really
enough.
weird.
Don't know why.
Europe had had enough.
No Illbleed in Europe. Yes. I mean, I believe Shenmue 2 came out after Illbleed. So that's a thing. Also, Japan got Shenmue 2 on the Dreamcast as well. Fun fact, Shenmue 2 was never dubbed in English, except for the North American version, of course. So, yeah, the European version is English subtitles with Japanese voiceover. So Yor gets kidnapped. We're not gonna go find him. It takes 1,000,000 years to find him, so we're not going to. Just gonna go on our journey as we run through yet another maze. That's right, another
No.
maze. Are
Not
you
remotely.
prepared?
No.
Oh.
It does.
So as I said, the game really likes us going left in mazes, so we're gonna be going left a lot. There's only one right that we take. Well, I mean, there's more, but like that we have the option of
Oh.
taking. Be careful of the side with the gray floor there, because you can fall down. Luckily, there's invisible walls next to all the corpses. Those are corpses, by the way, as these are all of the
So-
victims of Illbleed.
My understanding of the plot so far is that in the true ending, that your dad made a theme park to upset you, and yet before you even get there, he has killed thousands of people. How bad is
Yes.
he at getting his own kid into
Yes,
the park?
because
I have so many questions.
well, you see, and this is another part from the beginning. Erica hasn't seen her father since
See
she
that
was
one all the
The
time.
old strange dad building a theme park to scare
Um,
his daughter to get back in
so-
contact with her trope. Seen it 1,000 times.
Because her mother divorced her father because of all the scaring. She was a pretty fearless kid by the time she was 5, because he would keep doing traps, and her family ran what was known as the horror caravan, kind of deal. And then, again, Illbleed gets formed, and at the end of the true ending,
He
Erica
took the one
becomes
thing away
scared
from his daughter that mattered.
and can't handle any horror.
Her
Kevin
position as
becomes the
president
new
of the horror
president
club.
of the horror club.
Not brainless Randy? Yeah. How horrible.
And the funny thing as well about the whole thing is that in true ending you have to let all your friends die, but they actually
There he
still
is, Killer
live, because
Man.
obviously Kevin becomes president of the horror club and is also narrating the ending. So it's like, all right. So here we have Killer Man. Nice. We want to trade when he does the star attack like that. He's gonna laugh at me. He shouldn't laugh at me. Oh wow, he did a double laugh. When he does that attack, we want to dodge and then attack. We don't want to trade the giant star blast. Oops, I accidentally broke
That's
my
fine.
own
You were showing
rule.
us what not to do, like a direct example.
Technically, what you either want him doing the 5 thing, or do you want to see him do the beam attack thing? He's laughing a lot. I've never seen him laugh this much. I like how he warps and then he bleeds after finishing warping. It's just like, no,
I love the way
wasn't
his
done
death
bleeding
animation
yet.
was just like to
Okay.
fall back flat. Like he turned back.
I mean, all the souls leave his body in the cutscene.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
We are now going into the final level, which is Quark Goes to Hell. Or Toy Hunter. You will notice something about Quark. Very familiar to everyone.
Can you just
I
like
feel.
do this for
And
like
we have
anyone
enough
who
money
dies in the
to
park?
go buy York back, so we'll go by
I mean, like,
now
all those
because
corpses,
we
like, if
won't
someone wanted to get their
need
loved
any
one
more
back,
money
couldn't they just
after
go up to the park
this
and be like, here's $300,000?
period. Yeah, you can. But
They're the special guests. They're the lucky ones.
oh, that I don't know. I only know it's a thing for Eriko and her friends. I guess. So here we go. We're going into Toy Hunter. There we go. We're gonna get $300,000 if we complete the task the way the game
Are
wants
we
us
going
do
to?
it. We're going to grab the horror monitor and no. I won't be tagging traps. Or as many traps as the game wants me to tag. One of the 2 traps, actually I think there's 3 traps that Kevin won't react to, and that's Evil Monkey Fight, this guy, and the zombies that kidnap York.
Oh.
And don't forget to pick up your ticket. Because if you do forget to pick up your ticket, you can't continue.
They weren't
So there we
joking.
go. Yeah. Indeed. And then we're skipping becoming Jorg. You might notice that he looks like a certain or 2 certain characters. Fun fact: in the Japanese version, he is known as Inda. Of course, the Japanese version still he still gets called Quark because obviously English voiceover, so they use both. Whereas the English version only has Quark. So there are now story cutscenes. Those are unskippable cutscenes, so we want to make sure that we tag those. So we're jumping down. And the plot of this level is that Quark's owner has passed away, and Quark's owner's mother has thrown a character known as Sexy Doll, who happens to be Quark's girlfriend or wife or whatever, and so she has gone to Toy Hell. We are trying to get to
It's
Toy
a love
Hell
story
to
for the
save her.
ages. Like this game's a cinematic masterpiece.
I think
And we kind of got
I think this
spoilers
is
of
my
who the boss
favorite
is,
Yeah.
slash
level
the ruler
story
of Toy
in the
Hell.
whole game. It's completely unhinged.
Oh, I'm very
I won't
excited.
spoil it until we get there.
This is one of the few things.
Chat, I hope there's no... I don't know if there's any Sonic fans in chat, but to any Sonic fans, you're gonna love this surprise. Drop your Sonic emotes now, if you have any. And then
Yep.
tag.
I just love the yep.
Tag. Yep.
Yep.
Tag, and I should tag the grave over here because sometimes it likes to trick me and be like, "Oh, I'm still active." Ha 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 ha. Well, ha 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 on you, because I tagged you. And Evil Monkey Fight. This is the appropriate
This
Evil
is an
Monkey
acceptable
Fight.
amount of evil monkey.
Just let them hit you.
Just seeing this
There we go.
doll getting bodied by evil monkeys while frantically reaching for a ladder. Iconic.
Yes. And this is actually where you would get introduced to that special surprise
We don't need
in
that.
that story cutscene, but again, no, yeah, it's a complete surprise. And then tag up there. It's the megaphone will call Quark a loser. It'll basically narrate what's kind of going on, and Quark gets sad because he was called a loser.
So you're playing as Kevin, who is Cork, but does Cork take on the attributes of the character that you've chosen?
think it's either here
Okay.
or let's see. Was it right there? Yep. So yes. Yes, he does. So if he was Erico, he
Right.
would automatically get up from a fight encounter.
Ah.
And he'll squirm. So it's unfortunate. Alright. I gotta figure out where this fight encounter is because it's one of those annoying ones and I don't want to squirm for 15 seconds, so we're gonna do that. It was right there. Sadness, but at least I'm not squirming for 15 seconds, and we were pretty good for calling for it, and we didn't take too many hits. There's a way to avoid it, but I don't know what pattern I'm on. I just know what to... That's the reason I never finished my guide for the run, because I was like, what pattern is what for this level again? The other 5 I know, but this one, no. So this is one of the story cutscenes that we can just walk around. There are 2 of them that are very not needing to be tagged.
Alcatoys
actually
is the name
room
of this prison.
right here.
Incredible.
Yes. Welcome to Alcatoys.
And this is on the way to hell? This is... okay.
Yep. Because and the punishment is execution.
Yeah, even Illbleed has its principles.
To find... Alright, well, first we're going to court. Because obviously guilty and until proven innocent type of deal.
Illbleed has to have some plot integrity. Come on.
So we want to get behind this bench in order to do the thing. You cannot go by the bars because of invisible walls. So we want to get behind this bench in order to do the thing. You cannot go by the bars because invisible wall. And obviously, if you get too close to the trap, it just plays the cutscene. So he has been sentenced. And then it's gonna be... No, it's not gonna be that one. It's gonna be this one? Yes. Sometimes that can be a real pain to get tagged because the wall will act as an invisible wall, so you gotta go at it at the right angle. Luckily, I did. As we run in here, and then we meet Pododon, who may look like a certain color scheme to a certain other famous movie character, and he tells you how to get to Toy Hell. So he tells you what execution method you need to go to. Obviously, if you tag the trap, you won't see the cutscene that tells you.
Yeah.
We're also getting him gasoline so that he can escape. He's been stuck in that hole for 17 years.
The gas can, who is apparently also a felon.
So we talk to the gas can.
Because he's back here.
Thing, and we get out of there.
The felon against Mother Nature.
Like so.
Yeah.
Apparently. Gasoline. And then we go down to the trap. There's actually only 2 traps left in the entire level that we need to be concerned with. So here we go, we're walking. There we go. And tag the guard in order to skip the cutscene. Pododon saves us from being hanged, and we fall down. If we watch the cutscene, we'll already be down here. Because we didn't watch the cutscene, we needed to jump down the hole.
Sewer system on the way to hell again.
And then we're running through the sewer system. Not quite.
Normal
because
stuff.
Pododon is going to be like, I remember how to get boy hell. And it's like, okay. And
Oh.
the answer is, how should I put this? You have to be buried with a dead child. So, yeah. And there we go. Load it on, we take his chip. He's out of gas. So now we are looking for a new owner. That's exactly what we're going to do. Hey, there's a sign that talks about it. And hey, there's an Inda written there. If it was the English version, it would say Cork. And then we need to do a wide turn here to avoid an egg fight. Sometimes you just need to make wide turns to avoid certain fights. Then we go in. He gets thrown against a wall. And then, of course, we want to heal up just a tiny bit. Actually, I should probably heal my HP as well, just in case. And here we go. It is boss fight time. So, any Sonic the Hedgehog fans in chat? Because, we're about to meet his true form. This is the thing that Sega wanted to keep secret for decades. Actually, not even a decade, because Sonic wasn't even a decade old when this game came out. But for years, they wanted to keep this a secret.
Yeah.
Here we go. Sonic the Hedgehog's true form. Here we go. Sonic
Beautiful.
the Hedgehog's true form, Zodic the Hellhog. So again, we need to murder the rings to damage him. We also need to keep our distance, because if he doesn't attack, he gets iframes, and basically won't drop rings.
All right, hear me out.
There we go.
What if this part was
1, 2, 3,
actually
4.
a teaser for the Shadow the Hedgehog game?
Yes.
What? But like, what if?
I mean,
That's what Google's for. Let's find out.
I don't know
gonna
if
Google it
Sonic
for you.
Adventure 2 came out before this game. Because you gotta remember... Okay. Because Shadow the Hedgehog didn't exist until Sonic Adventure 2.
It came out in 2001, which I think is also the year
So
that
that's a
this
thing.
came out. Yeah.
Yes, but it depends what month.
Sonic Adventure 2 came out.
So what came
in
out
June
first,
of
Illbleed
2001.
or Sonic Adventure 2?
So let's find out.
All right.
March 2001. So this game did in fact predict Shadow the Hedgehog. They gave us a teaser.
So it's really weird because Sonic Adventure 2 came out in all regions on the Dreamcast. So why didn't Illbleed come out in all regions? It's very strange. Very, very strange. Alright, and here we go. We're going against the final boss. We're not buying any health upgrades because it's just gonna be the boss fight, right? So we can't heal. Of course. So Kevin is running for his destiny, going into the museum.
That's a weapon.
Alright, we need to grab a weapon. There we go. And yes. And then we need to go into the center because we can't just pick the boss. There are 3 options. There are Cashman, Bullstinger, which is an enemy from their previous game, and Oh No Man. And according to all the guides, Oh No Man is the easiest, which is a lie.
They were lying to
And
you.
they say that Bullstinger is the hardest. I think they were lying to everybody, not just me.
I really like Bullstinger's loose human legs in pants in the back there. He's still got his shoes on.
Because, like, Oh No
I feel like
Man is
evolution will
pure
make that part go
unadulterated
away
chaos.
eventually.
Mhm. If a
Yo,
I mean, if you play
GG.
Blue Stinger,
Nice.
they're mutated humans, right? They're also just casual enemies in that game. So that's also a thing. There we go.
This
Almost
rules.
dead.
This rules.
Also, I think this is my first hitless bull stinger, and that is time. We have successfily completed Illbleed, and now
I'm not
if
sure you would want
thought
to unless you just want my
the
strange opinions on how
Hub World theme
cool
was
the
a
music in
bop,
Illbleed is. But I am
witness
JPEG.
the greatest
I am on Twitter as
non-lyric
also
ending
JPEG,
credit song
JOIPEG,
ever.
and then on Twitch as
Yes.
JPEG_EXE. So you can find me either of those places.
I know,
and
right?
Yeah, I
But
do this a lot of
JPEG,
the
if
time.
people
Not
want to
speedrun this,
find
but
you,
make
please
comments.
tell the good people
So-
watching how they can find you.
You can also find me at twitter.com/cmm1215. I'll also be here for
Yes.
a little bit.
And
I don't really stream
fantastic
very
host,
much, but
would
if
you
you want
like to
see
tell the
me
people
post about
where they
random
can
things,
find
you
you?
can.
It's really cool.
Excellent. And you can find me at twitch.tv/abbiescorner. I have a Twitter. It's Abby_Brander. I have a Blue Sky as well, which is under Abby's Corner.
Ooh.
I also have a podcast called Speedrunners and Coffee, where I interview speedrunners about their history and also talk about coffee during said podcast as well. Episodes released every Saturday. As a matter of fact,
I don't think you need the
episode
question
30
mark. I think it
dropped
just is.
today. That is with the man, the myth, the legend known as UFO Techie, and all that good stuff. But yes, thank you for letting me run Illbleed. You have witnessed perhaps the greatest Dreamcast game ever made? Question mark. But yeah.
Hell yeah.
Why would we not want to
Ending,
sit
baby.
through this
Oh, there
she
absolute
is.
killer music? That's fine.
Fair enough.
The sexy
But yeah.
doll.
This
Yeah.
was Illbleed. Of course, the
Who
ending
we didn't
happens
really
after
see
the song.
at any point,
It's like
but
go through the credits.
know,
It's like a
I'm glad we see her
post-credit. It's
now.
like post-credits before
can-
movies had post-credits, I guess. But yeah. Okay, we can do that. Yep. And if you want to check out Blue Stinger, I recommend the North American version because the North American version has multiple cameras that you can use, such as like Illbleed. I forgot to mention that
thank you,
the camera
Sega.
angle that I used is best, which I think is auto follow 2. Yes, it is auto follow 2. The Japanese version only has a fixed camera, making it very, very difficult. Yes. And obviously, you see, funny enough, Sega didn't publish it. It was Crazy Games in the United States and
This is the good
AIA
ending.
Entertainment or
Okay.
Amusement in North America. So that's why I don't know who owns the rights to this game.
That's fine. We went back and got it in the morning. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even though we only say Brainless Randy, he has his brain.
Yeah. Maybe Kevin's not that
So
good
the
at
funny
math.
thing is, in the beginning of the game, they mentioned 100 million.
Maybe he donated
and
his
obviously at
brain
the
to
end
Randy.
credit there, you saw 100 million, but in this dialogue, they only mentioned that it's $1 million.
See, in this cutscene, the characters all have completely stationary faces that aren't expressing anything, and also in Pokemon games that have been released since 2020, characters still don't have facial expressions. It's true. True. She's a strong, independent woman.
It's too expensive. I go. So yeah, she goes alone.
Oh. And that's just kind of glossed over as like, yeah, that's normal.
And why?
Why did I leave? Why did I leave Emerald Coast
Also,
to go
Michelle
back
has
into
telepathic
Illbleed?
powers,
You ever leave your beach
which
vacation with your
is why she
friends
starts
to
with
go
the
back
most
into the
adrenaline
absolute
in the
nightmare zone?
game.
That was literally just like Sonic Adventures Emerald Coast. Oh my god, this is a gift. Abby, thank you for having me. This is performance art.
Yep. And that was Illbleed. No worries.
All right, everyone. That was Illbleed by Abby's Corner. GG's. Thank you so much for taking on that magical journey through through whatever that was. Yeah, that was special. Up next, we have Zombie Zone by Gala, continuing this horror theme we've got going on right now. I don't know if it can be